On your journey to wealth, having debt is like a giant ball and chain holding you back. So let's talk about how to set yourself free. Hi, if you're new here, welcome to Money with Min. And in this channel, my mission is to teach you the basic building blocks about understanding money so you can worry less and enjoy life more. If you're looking to get rich quick, this is not the channel for you, but if you want to get wealthy for sure, then hit that subscribe button for weekly videos on how to get wiser with your money. In my videos, I talk about building long-term wealth, but there's one thing I haven't talked about much, and that is debt. In a previous video, I talked about compound interest, and once you're able to take advantage of it, it's like a rocket ship towards your eventual wealth. But on the flip side, debt is the exact opposite. It's gonna hold you back. Imagine running a marathon by having a ball and chain shackled to your ankle. Sure, you can still try to run, but I wouldn't recommend it unless you figure out how to become unshackled. So how do we do that? But first, let's take a deep breath together and accept that most of us will encounter debt at various points in our lives. According to a study done by Nerdwallet in 2019, the average US household is holding on to over $138,000 in debt. That might sound like a lot, but most of it is in the form of mortgages and student loans. Now, there's an important distinction to be made here. There are actually two types of debt: good debt and bad debt. Good debt is generally debt you take on that could potentially make you money, such as real estate or business loans. Bad debt, on the other hand, is borrowing money to pay for depreciating assets, such as credit card debt or car loans. And while student loans are an investment in yourself, it really depends on how you leverage your education. So what I'm here to do is to help you figure out how to get rid of all your bad debt so you can start building wealth, so you can worry less and enjoy life more. So what I'm gonna walk you through in the next few minutes are two methods popularized by Dave Ramsey, a well-known character in the personal finance space. I'll have a couple of his links in the description below, so feel free to check those out. So let's say you have three active debts: a credit card debt at $10,000 at 20% interest, a car loan at $5,000 at 3% interest, and a student loan at $15,000 at 6%. The first method I'm gonna walk you through is the Snowball Method. And the main principle here is to pay off the smallest debt amount first. So in this case, the smallest debt amount is actually the car loan. So what you're gonna do is focus and prioritize on that car loan and pay that off until it's done. Then you move on to the next loan, which in this case is your credit card debt. And you're gonna pay this off aggressively as you can every month until that credit card debt is completely wiped out. And then you pay off your student loan because it's the largest amount of these three. So there are pros and cons to both these methods. With the Snowball Method, it's psychologically easier to start because you're picking off the smallest debt to tackle first. And that will build momentum for you to be able to tackle your other debts. However, the downside of this method is that it actually takes longer to pay off because you're accumulating additional interest. And ultimately, you're also paying more in total interest over time. Now let's take those same three debts and talk about the second approach, which is called the Avalanche Method. And the basic principle of this method is to focus on paying off the highest interest debt first. And in this case, it's your credit card debt. And it's often the most dangerous debt people have because it's the highest interest rate. So I would encourage those of you who have debt to really focus on paying your credit card debt off first. And then you move on to your next highest interest rate, which is your student loans in this model. And finally, your car loan, which is your lowest interest rate at 3%. Again, pros and cons for both models. Psychologically, this might potentially be harder to start because it's possible that your highest interest loan might be your largest debt. However, if you have the willpower to take this approach, you can become debt-free much faster. And this approach is also optimized to pay the least interest. Another note about both these approaches is that you still need to pay the minimum monthly amount on all your loans. So if you're working towards becoming debt-free, let me know in the comments below. Do either of these approaches work for you, or are there other approaches that you're using? If you found the tiniest bit of value in this video, please do me a huge favor and smash that like button. And if you want to see more weekly videos on how to optimize your money, please consider subscribing. And as always, thanks for watching. Until next week, peace.